So despite all the warning signs, the woke activists in Hollywood and in entertainment continue to attack the fans, lashing out if they don't agree with their ideologies or politics or agenda. And now we have the Boys showrunner actually telling people, if you don't like my politics, don't watch my show. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back, and there's a lot to unpack in this video. Especially given the fact that there are so many of these shows that have come out recently or who have been around a while, where the stars, the showrunners, the people that are behind the series, you know, the writers and directors, basically just feel like it's their job to trash half the audience, to attack their ideologies, their religion, their, political affiliations, whatever you want to call it. So, we've seen on Rotten Tomatoes that Star Wars The Acolyte is not doing so well. It's currently sitting at 91% for the critics, in direct opposition to the 32% of the audience. Now again, it was at 26% earlier, but when more and more ratings keep coming in because people keep subjecting themselves to this show, it has bumped it up to 32%, but that is possibly the worst score for any Star Wars product on Rotten Tomatoes that has ever been seen. And I could be wrong, it could be like the second worst, but that it's still not much of a competition. That's pretty terrible. And if you want to ask yourself why the hate for Star Wars The Acolyte, why the hate for these people, things like this where Amanda Steinberg, the star of the show, several years ago, in talking to Trevor Noah about a different movie she was on, she made these statements, all right? So just give it a watch.
When people watch The Hate U Give, what do you want them to walk away with? Because I know everyone has a slightly different feeling.
Well, I mean, white people crying actually was the goal.
I love when they laugh, even though it's not funny, like they're trying to make themselves think it's funny. Oh, white people crying, that's the goal, ha ha ha. Very funny. So again, these are the ideologies behind a lot of the push that we're seeing from these people to make the show more progressive, more woke, more feminist, more whatever you want to call it. Star Wars essentially is a corpse of what it used to be. It is a dead franchise, and unfortunately for Disney, they spent a lot of money on Lucasfilm that they have yet to make back, and now it just seems like it's going to get even worse, because according to That Park Place, the Valiant Renegade, who is a YouTuber and an analyst, did some of the numbers, he crunched them in the numbers, and it looks like about 3% of Disney Plus's subscribers actually tuned in. Now, Disney has tried to spin this as a positive, saying that they reached 4.8 million views in the first day of availability. However, that is a global number. So 4.8 million people globally in its first day of availability, and 2 episodes came out. So essentially you could actually split that number in half and say only 2.4 million tuned in for each episode if they are in fact combining viewership from both, which is actually 0.4 million less than Doctor Who, which is even crazier because Doctor Who is dying really, really poorly. Like, the numbers are terrible for Doctor Who right now. They're losing hundreds of thousands of viewers every single episode. So again, Disney's going to do what they need to try to sugarcoat this as much as possible. But unfortunately, the decisions they've made, attacking the fans before the show even aired, Kathleen Kennedy and her coming out basically saying that if you're attacking the show, it's because you're a bigot, you're a homophobe, you're a racist. They always roll out the same crap. Now we're seeing the same thing with Doctor Who. And of course, in this new episode of Doctor Who, you have Doctor Who so stunning and bravely kissing another man. Again, because he's the first gay black doctor, so they need to have this moment. And again, just like anything else, people always want to say, well, the show has always been progressive. That's fine. Progressive is fine. But these things are done for a reason. Again, we've seen Ncuti Gatwa coming out talking about how the show needs to be gay, and if you don't like it, they'll replace you with 3 to 5 gay or LGBT people who will watch the show in your place. Not that that's actually happened, because the more they continue to chase people off, the less and less viewership they have for the show. But again, this is just the reality of the world that these people live in. They say things like, don't let the door hit you on the way out, that we'll replace you with people who aren't bigots, you're just a hateful bigot, you're a racist if you don't like our show. Again, decisions to bring in people that are like drag queens and to make the show all of like a gay musical, that is what has actually destroyed the fan base and destroyed the viewership for these shows. It's not the fact that he's black. It's not the fact that he's a gay man in real life. It's the fact that they've decided to cram all of this down people's throats to the point where they're like, look, I'm okay with all this stuff, but you're hitting me left and right, and I can't even breathe anymore. Like, you've got to stop. I'm out. So they tell people to go touch grass, and that's exactly what people are doing. Well, unfortunately now for the boys, and I know a lot of people, the so-called reactionary YouTubers, love The Boys, much like Game of Thrones. And the funny thing is, Game of Thrones is also a very progressive story, progressive show. George R.R. Martin, not a right-wing person. The Boys being a very progressive show, not right-wing in any way. A lot of these people still watch the show because I think what most people that are either left-leaning or in Hollywood miss is it's not about the show not having anything politically woke or liberal in it. It's about how you treat the subject matter and how you treat the audience, and not trying to just hammer them with a message. You can have it there, but it needs to be done in a way that makes sense. Well, now what we have is Eric Kripke, the showrunner for The Boys, shrugging off criticism that the series is woke. Now, first of all, this is the first I'm ever hearing of this. I don't watch The Boys, but I don't ever see anything where anyone's complaining about it being woke. So if there is anybody saying that, it's a very new thing. Apparently, he tells unhappy fans, go watch something else, but I'm certainly not going to pull any punches or apologize. Well, again, before we get into what the actual controversy is, I'm just going to say there are ways to address this if you are not trying to, quote, make your show woke, but you don't want to, disenfranchise a certain group of people. You could just say, well, I'm not making it woke or anti-woke. You can interpret it however you want to, but I'm telling the story I want to tell. Saying it just like that, I think would please everybody. But these people don't care about who they please. They just want to piss off the right people, as you'll see here in a second. So this article from Bounding into Comics says The Boys showrunner Eric Kripke made it clear that he is fully aware of the common criticism that the series has gone woke with its messaging, and he has absolutely zero intention of changing its narrative direction. He spoke to the topic of The Boys' political messaging during a recent interview given to The Hollywood Reporter Mike O'Connelly in promotion of the series' upcoming 4th season premiere. Pressed by O'Connell as to whether it was always his intent to create such a politically charged series, Kripke explained, when Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, that should tell you all you need to know right there, right? Seth Rogen being involved, it's going to be far left-leaning. And I took it out to pitch. It was 2016. We just wanted to do a very realistic version of a superhero show, one where superheroes are celebrities behaving badly. Trump was he's not really getting the nomination, is he guy. When he got elected, we had a metaphor that said more about the current world. Suddenly, we were telling a story about the intersection of celebrity and authoritarianism and how social media and entertainment are used to sell fascism. Oh my God. Look, I tried watching the first episode. I think I got through the first one and half of the second one. It just wasn't for me. But again, I'm not going back after this. This is the kind of crap these guys are putting in their show. I'm done. No. We're right in the eye of the storm, he added, and once we realized that, I just felt an obligation to run in that direction as far as we could. Holy crap. Met with the observation from O'Connell that The Boys regularly presents parallels to current events, Kripke then noted that the series' timely commentary was actually somewhat of a coincidence, as it's happened now almost every season, and we write them sometimes close to 2 years before they air, and again we'll find that the news is accurately reflecting whatever we're talking about. It's not a spoiler to say that first episode of Season 4, Homelander is on trial. A big concern is, can you convict someone that powerful of a crime? And what does that mean for the various supporters of the people protesting him? Did I know it was going to come out during Trump's trial? Of course not. But we write what we're either scared of or pissed off about. Someone asked me last year about Season 3, how are you so prescient with cops and over-policing in black neighborhoods? Well, it's been a problem for over 100 years. It was a problem 5 years ago, and unfortunately it's going to be a problem 5 years from now. It's always the same shit. Wow. So this guy lives in the world of, cops bad, Trump bad, right-wingers bad, they're all evil fascists. Holy crap, guys. Look, if you're not political or if you don't care about the guy's politics, that's fine. If the show's still good, continue watching it. But I don't know how you could enjoy this show if you were, let's say, were a right-leaning person, knowing the kind of things that he's intentionally putting in the show. To this end, O'Connell next asked Kripke as to how he was able to digest the uglier reaction to that, particularly in regards to the multiple headlines the reporter had personally seen describing the series as woke. He said, I clearly have a perspective, and I'm not shy about putting that perspective in the show. Anyone who wants to call the show woke or whatever, that's okay. Go watch something else. But I'm certainly not going to pull any punches or apologize for what we're doing. Some people, this is the funniest part of this article in my opinion, some people who watch it think Homelander is the hero. What do you say to that? The show's many things. Subtle isn't one of them. So if that's the message you're getting from it, I just throw up my hands. Now look, I know he's the bad guy. Okay, I don't know much about the show because, again, I only saw a couple episodes. He's just an evil, evil dude. I know that he's the father of Butcher's kid and all that. He's a messed up guy. But it's really funny hearing Eric Kripke say, I don't know why people are big fans of Homelander. It's like, well, apparently they gave him an actual good storyline, like a sympathetic background or something that created a relatability with the audience. Much like what happened with Rorschach. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Alan Moore, the communist writer of Watchmen, had this thing where he was spurging out a while back why he didn't understand why people liked Rorschach, because Rorschach is supposed to be this crazy right-wing vigilante, evil, smelly. He's not supposed to be an admirable figure. He's supposed to be abhorrent. But he didn't understand why people could identify with him. It's because this person was the seeing justice done despite, the system failing him. And again, people can relate to that. And it's funny because these people who claim to want justice and equality don't realize the things that, when they're writing a character, they try to villainize things that would actually be relatable to the majority of people, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I'm just extrapolating too much from it. But you guys let me know what you think about all this. I think these people in Hollywood don't realize how good they have it. All he had to do was say nothing, or like I said, just kind of say, hey, the show, if it's not for you, I'm sorry, but, it's just, I'm writing the show I want to write. No big deal. But no, he has to actually attack half the country. It's just stupid. It's a stupid tactic. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about all this. Share your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.